All right. Welcome. And we are now in week 8. So at the end of this week, we'll be officially halfway through the semester, which is kind of crazy. Um, if you're behind on work, and I'm not sure who is and who isn't just by looking out at the class, just a reminder that we're getting close to the hard deadline for assignments 1 through 5. So just make sure you have those in. Um, Otherwise, I'll be dropping people from the class, and I don't want to do that because at this point you're probably fairly invested. So today we're going to tackle Module 9. Module 9 is a module that contains information that is important, but it does not have an assignment associated with it. It has a sandbox, and the information you're going to get in Module 9, I think, is especially helpful for assisting you with thinking through the work of Module 8 or Assignment 8. So hopefully this will help if you're struggling with that. Again, I don't know who is or who isn't off the top of my head, but I know Assignment 8 is typically an assignment that gives people a little bit of trouble. So this will help, hopefully, with thinking that through, and I'll review some of the things we talked about last time in the context of this. So today we're going to talk about algorithms. And algorithms are something that has reached a sort of status of having cultural significance for us, mostly thanks to Meta and Facebook and Instagram and all of our other social media, because now we know that if we're in Facebook and we click an ad about socks, that all of a sudden you're going to see 20 more ads about socks, right? And you're going to get posts in your thread about socks, and maybe somebody will be sending you sock emails or contacting you about their socks that they want you to buy. And it's kind of annoying. But we know that in our social media, if we are clicking videos or watching videos about cats, what are we going to see more of? We're going to see more cats, right? Because it's going to assume that you like cats. It's going to assume, as if the algorithm has some kind of personality, right? We know that's not true. Sort of from in our head, we know that's not true. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Has anybody ever had the experience where you swear that you have not been searching for or looking at anything related to a specific topic, but that you sit there and you're in a conversation with somebody and you mention it to them. And then you go online and you're seeing stuff about that exact thing that you just talked about. That's creepy, right? Is it real, or is it just chance that maybe that thing that you were talking about is just something that you're interested in or matches a profile, or some algorithm out there says, people who search for these things might not be that thing that you were talking about, but search for these other things or look at these other things are usually interested in this. And it just got lucky. Or is Siri and Alexa listening to your conversations and feeding that information to some algorithm out there? A lot of people, yes. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. I've had that experience, and it is creepy indeed. But an algorithm, because of this sort of phenomenon in our life, and because we live so much of our life in the electronic world now, most of us, not all of us, but a lot of us do, this idea of the algorithm, kind of like a capital A, kind of almost an entity out there that is watching us or trying to get us or trying to steal our information, has become sort of culturally popular. It's taken on a life of its own. And it seems to be that when you say algorithm to somebody, it's almost like you're talking about a little monster that's out to get them, right? Or maybe it's like, I sort of envision it more like the old school movie monsters where they walk like this fast and the other person, exactly, exactly, they always catch you, right? Because you can run for a half a mile and they're like this, and then all of a sudden they're in front of you with a machete or something. uh, I don't know how that works, but I sort of like when people think of the algorithm, I think that's sort of what they're thinking about.